And these are the applications that I have. It's our family medicine operating room. Now, a lot of surgery gunners in the comments might be protesting right now, but we do also have an autoclave in the office as well. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I feel like if you clicked on this video, there is a very good chance that it's because you've been watching my channel for a while, you've been following my journey so far. I don't really think that this has much reach to other people, but in case you don't know me, my name is Gianluca, aka Dr. Calcagno. I am officially starting off as a new family doctor here in Ontario, and this is my office. I don't know if a video like this has ever been on YouTube before, but I thought it would be a really great opportunity to follow up on a few things that I've said in the past, and then also show people a little bit of behind the scenes about what it's like setting up your office and getting a new space and trying to get accustomed to where you're going to be working for the next couple of years. So you're going to be getting a full office tour today, and then also a little bit of some stuff that's going on. So first thing you need to know about me, basically, if you're new, is that I am, yes, doing full-time family medicine, but also going to be doing some rural emerge. So it'll be 3 24-hour shifts per month, and then full-time family practice Monday to Thursday. And in my practice, I will be seeing everyone across a whole bunch of different age groups. So babies, children, adults, the elderly, expectant mothers. I am really trying to do kind of full scope family medicine. And in that regard, there's not many people that I won't see from a general practice perspective. I've told some of you in the past that I am currently enrolling patients and looking into getting people that are interested. That way, when I take over full-time starting in July, we could just sign them up. And these are the applications that I have that have not been properly filed away yet. I think I've said before, I didn't know what to expect going into this, but we have received hundreds of applications so far in only the last, I don't even think it's been a month really since I've been seriously telling people that I'm going to be enrolling. But the way I'm doing it is everyone that comes, you apply, I see you for a meet and greet visit, like a one-on-one, tell you a little bit about myself, this is the place, and then we go through all your patient records and see how exactly I could pick up from where your last family doctor left off, or some people haven't had a family doctor in more than 20 or 30 years. So that's kind of how I'm doing things. And just in case anyone that comes across this that has applied already, I am getting through this as quickly as possible. So you will get a call at some point, but we are getting way more applications than I think even I thought going into it. All right, so enough about that. We're gonna get into the tour now. And if anyone has clicked on this video hoping that I'm gonna be like complaining or not singing the praises of family medicine, then I hate to disappoint you, but that is the wrong video, because I am so excited about this office. And everything about, like, it feels great to be here and be setting up. I'll tell you just a little bit about it as I'm showing off. The building itself was made, I think, in the 80s. So it was a family doctor and his wife. They were both family doctors. And then they had their daughter, who was also a family doctor as well. So it was really a family practice with a family. And then I am now, I guess, the first doctor that will be working in with them that is not part of the original family. But I do get asked quite often whether or not I'm like a cousin or another kid, but no, not related at all. This is my favorite room in the office, and it's also the biggest room. There was a wall that came right through the center here, but we knocked it down. This is our big exam room. We use this if there's ever a time where we need more space for a patient encounter. So specifically, it's a good room for IUD insertion. Close the windows, make it very private, but if there's a bigger space and there's something going on, someone needs a little bit of a bigger room, it's helpful to have, for sure. All right, so door number 1, onto the hallway, pretty standard. Got pretty much an exact replica of that last exam room that I was in, another big exam room. So we have 2 of the big exam rooms. You'll see all the different mannequins that we have and demonstration aids to help explain certain concepts to different people. This is our ECG machine, which I'm really happy that we have, because it does come in handy, especially if there are many times someone will present to us and we have to make a call whether or not this is someone that needs to be seen by the emergency department or someone that we can see here and then arrange follow-up, hopefully pretty quickly if they need it. But very helpful to have an ECG machine there. Out into this hall here, we have the waiting room. And in the area, this is actually like a really famous medical office, because like people have been coming here since they were like little kids, and now they're in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and you know, all sorts of different things. A pretty big waiting room. We got one restroom. This is our front desk over here. Our front desk staff is awesome, and I would be lost without them. So I'm really happy as a new doc coming in. It's been helpful to have, really helpful to have like a really experienced front desk staff. And then pretty much it here. Coming over this way, we have our 3 small exam rooms now. So we got 1, 2, and 3. And all of them pretty much look the same, but this is where we'll do most of our patient encounters. It's interesting because when I start working now full-time, there will be 4 doctors working in the same office. So 2 that are really experienced, and then myself and my good friend Dr. Patel, who's going to be starting off working with us as well. So we're going to be sharing these rooms as best as we can and kind of going through, and if someone needs one room over the other, then we're going to try our best to make that work. But they all pretty much look the same. I do like to use this room specifically for my prenatal assessments. I do have my Doppler ultrasound here. And we use this to assess the fetal heart rate. And I do like to do a lot of prenatal care for patients that need it, and shared care with OB/GYN as well. Now this room's awesome. This is our, you'll see, it's our family medicine operating room. Now a lot of surgery gunners in the comments might be protesting right now, but this is basically where all of the procedures happen. And we do quite a few procedures, I will say. Not to brag too much, but we do a lot of intra-articular injections if we're gonna use corticosteroids for arthritis. We do quite a few injections, I must say. We also do a lot of different biopsies, a lot of procedures that involve cutting as well, and some cosmetics. So we'll remove skin tags. We have access to cryotherapy right over here if there's anything that we need to freeze. Now I want to show you how this one works because I had never previously used a setup like this before. So what you're going to do is you turn on the gas like this, and then make sure you open it all the way. You come over here to the apparatus and you switch this first to make sure that it's flowing straight through. And then when you squeeze this, I kind of time-lapse that a little bit, but hopefully you could appreciate that the end of the metal actually starts to develop some ice crystals around this. And let's say you had a wart or something that needs to be frozen, you just press this metal up against the area, blanch the skin, and hopefully kill some of the cells that have the HPV virus that we're treating. We do also have an autoclave in the office as well. And at the end, our nursing staff that does the autoclaving is able to make sure that they've prepared all the instruments. That way, when we're busy during the day and we need something, we know exactly where to find it. And there's different kits that we have, usually a forceps and a scissors. We have some scalpel blades as well. Basic equipment here. These are the lights that we use for our pap testing. So this actually comes out, and let's see if I have one around here somewhere. So that's the speculum. Many patients told me that they prefer the plastic to the metal because these ones don't get as cold. And you see that will go ahead and click and clamp open like this. And then you take this light, which is a really strong light like this, and it goes in the center of the speculum. Now you have the ability to shine a light on the cervix and be able to perform the pap exam. All right, and just really quickly going through what's on this shelf, we have all of our topical agents that we use for wound care and cleaning and dressing. And then down below, bandages and the like, but I wanna show you this too. Face mask, which is really important for if we're ever going to do some sort of cyst that does have the propensity to rupture. And there's been many times where we've been trying to remove a cyst on someone's head, for example. And if you do try and get some of that material out and it pops and it gets all over you, you really want to make sure that you have a face protection available if you're draining an abscess or some other type of cyst. All right, and then finally, this is the kitchen. This is where we have lunch. Criticisms of the office, sorry to my partners, but many of you know about this already. There's no like private space here. So when you're back here eating lunch, there's this door right to the side where the patients could look directly inside and see you as you're eating lunch, which is fine. But like many times if I'm trying to like scarf down my food really quickly so I could go back out and see people, it probably doesn't look the most pleasing to see me with a mouthful of sandwich or whatever I'm eating that day. I have my espresso machine that I brought back there because I needed to have that. And that's the office. And like I said before, really excited to be able to walk into a practice, number one, that already has everything set up that I need, basically, or almost everything. There's a few things that I think I'll add as time goes on. but also to have some experienced doctors that are already working here and have already been very, very helpful throughout my training and trying to get me up to speed. And whatever, if you have a question, you want to ask someone about who to refer to in particular or what services are available in a certain area, it is night and day difference to be able to have people that have been working for 5 or more years. And I think that's something that I would recommend to any new family doctors that are going into practice. It's great to have a little bit of additional support even outside of residency. Okay, so that concludes the tour. I guess moving forward, if anyone is in a similar space, you're thinking about going into family medicine, you have questions about setting up the practice and things like that, you're welcome to leave them in the comment section below. I guess I'll try my best to tune in every now and then and answer some questions. Some of you might have seen earlier videos where I talked about I want to have my own practice, and I talked about what I wanted to look like and where I wanted it to be, and I would love to have a practice on the water with a private office where I could just go outside and enjoy my lunch on a balcony. But you finish residency and you learn very quickly that all of this stuff costs an amazing amount of money. Even this office that I will be sharing with multiple different doctors, and don't get me wrong, I am thankful for the office that we have here, but just my costs to keep this place running for myself for the year, no way I'm getting out less than $110,000, $120,000 to just to keep the place running. And that's another reason why it's really important that for many people coming out of residency, you try and get into somewhere where you're able to share some of those overhead costs with some other doctors as well. Now, I don't say any of that to take away from what I had said before. My goals from before are still the same. Medical entrepreneurship, medical real estate, getting involved in that side as well, I think is something that I definitely will pursue. It's just one of those things about walking before you could run. I need to pay off some student loans. I need to get a whole bunch of other stuff well established first. And then on the other side of that, then that's when I'll start looking to expand a little bit more. But in the meantime, what an awesome place to be, right? I guess now is probably the last opportunity that I could really talk about this though. One of the only things that I would really like to get at the office at some point is an ultrasound machine to have at the office, particularly for 2 different uses. Number one, to help with different types of injections that I would feel much more comfortable doing under ultrasound guidance than with a blind injection. And in addition, being able to have some sort of, even if it's one of those ultrasound machines that connects to your phone, to be able to help with my prenatal assessments in cases where a Doppler ultrasound, for whatever reason, can't find the fetal heart rate. Rather than sending that individual to the hospital to get an emergency ultrasound, if I was able to use that ultrasound to find a heart rate here in office, it saves the mother a whole bunch of time and also a lot of stress, and hopefully helps to make things a little bit more smoothly, especially because I probably will be seeing quite a bit of prenatal care, I think. All right, everyone, and that's it for the video. I don't know what the reaction or response to this video is going to be. I hope it was helpful. The whole point to some of these types of videos are to try and get more people interested and excited about the specialty, about family medicine. And the way, at least the beginning of my career is shaping up, it's going to be really busy. We're going to be all over the place doing a whole bunch of different things and seeing a whole bunch of different people. But that's what I like about it so much. And I think that being in a place like this with so many different things that you're able to do, it's just my type of environment. And happy to help or try to help if anyone has any questions. But if not, see you all in the next one. And everyone take care.